Helmsman, come left steer course 121.
Come left steer course 121.
Today I got to drive on my first buoy, and it was a little bit overwhelming, but it was exciting at the same time.
Emily Cox and Dana Rohde graduated from the U.S. Coast Guard Academy in May.
So yesterday we worked one buoy. It was the first buoy that I've ever driven up to. It was really exciting.
Helmsman, 10 feet ahead, 20 feet to starboard.
Now, just 3 months later,
Our range and bearing to shoal is 1,700 yards.
they're ensigns on the bridge of the Coast Guard cutter Juniper,
Make my goal heading 090.
learning to drive the 225-foot, 2,000-ton ship to within feet of the navigational buoys that the crew is responsible for inspecting and maintaining.
Driving it up, it was really nerve-wracking, but I had my ops boss, Lt.j.g Fullmer, right next to me.
We're going to start getting set, right, and it's going to slow down our speed too.
Ops, he's a very good coach, and so you feel safe and everything, but at the same time you're still driving the boat, which is, it's intimidating.
So buoy tenders are lucky to receive usually very top performing Academy graduates, which we have 2 phenomenal ones received this year. They come relatively prepared from the Academy. So 4 years at the Academy, they learn a lot of the lingo, the acronyms, and how to deal with senior officers, enlisted folks, just an overall broad leadership experience that benefits them, because from day one when they step on board, they are leaders, they're in charge of people.
Shipping, do you have that sailboat off of our port bow? As a cadet, you're not really in charge of anyone, but when you're an ensign, now have a division that you're in charge of.
The biggest thing I think that you learn is just the time management that you're going to need here. You show up and you feel like you don't know everything that you're supposed to, but you're expected to do the job just the same, and so it really takes time management and hard work to kind of understand what you're supposed to be doing.
Stand clear, lower chain!
So today we are servicing 2 buoys. They're both 8 feet wide, 26 feet tall, marking Fisher's Island entrance and also a shoal, Bartlett Reef, off the Thames River.
And we're in some narrow channels and then close to some very shallow water, and so you're trying to keep track of where the boat is at all times and trying to avoid other traffic.
Yeah, so they need to pay attention to everything going on, because they're ultimately responsible to me for the safety of the ship when they have this watch.
30 knots of wind equals 1 knot of current. Currents, winds, I mean, we've got all sorts of screens that they're looking at. They obviously need to be looking out the window, what contacts, what vessels are around us. And then you're also kind of acting as a safety, so you're looking on deck to make sure that everything's progressing safely and no one's going to be hurt.
So today we lifted 2 buoys. One was 12,800 pounds, one was 13,100 pounds. So they're watching that evolution as well, because hanging that much weight over people is a risky evolution.
The buoys serviced on Wednesday are just 2 of the 174 that the crew of the Juniper is responsible for between Massachusetts and New Jersey. While Rohde and Cox will continue to learn on the job, they both agree that the Academy prepared them well.
I didn't realize how well until I got here, because you come in, like, there's a lot of unknowns coming into it, but then once you get here, like, oh, I do know some of this information, oh, I do know how to do that.
Standing by. At the buoy!
I found that very, relieving, because it's very overwhelming to come to a new job, and what I also didn't realize is how much you could rely on the people that are already here. And so the Academy did teach me that. I would rely a lot on my teachers and my mentors, but then when I came here, you're starting fresh. But those mentors came very fast. When I got here, I already have multiple mentors, and I've only been here for a month. And so they're who I've been depending on the most, and that's what the Academy really taught me, was to rely on those that are already there.